press the Got It button. There's a button on your, there's a little thing blocking your screen, and where it says Got It, click that. It should clear it out of the way, and we'll get to it. Mute all. So I'm muting everybody. So if you have questions, you'll have to unmute yourself in order to ask. And let's do it. So opening meditation. Establishing the central line. Chin slightly down, crown slightly up. More and more, you want to just really have awareness of that, so that you don't let this slouch thing happen. Right? Many people are very comfortable here, but they don't even know that that is available. So we want to work on finding that. Chin down, crown up. And meditation practice, hopefully you're doing 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a couple of times a day, you know, where you just stop and become attentive to your bodies. Work on this idea of relaxing unnecessary activity and tension and grip. And then especially in regards to Parkinson's, with all of that sort of extra activity that you might be experiencing sometimes in terms of sort of dyskinesia and that type of thing, do your best not to resist it, but rather allow it to move through. So that could be you sort of lean one way, or your head wants to drop and roll over to the other side, or your arm wants to reach into space and then come back down. But if you do that sort of connecting to the body, allowing for whatever's going on to happen while you're present with it, you can be moving, but you're still cultivating stillness. So stillness isn't a lack of movement. It's not like hold on for dear life and not move. It's a quality of presence. So no matter what you are experiencing, there's a stillness underlying it. So that idea. So play with that idea. 1 minute here, seated meditation. Breath long, thorough, complete. Consider the idea of space. Consider that idea that you are made up of more spaciousness than you are rigid material, right? At like the quantum level, there's more of a spaciousness between everything, right? But we often experience ourselves as very congealed and stuck and heavy. But what happens when you practice, especially Tai Chi and softening quality of meditation, is you just feel interior space open up, which allows for lightness and ease. final 30 seconds or so. So in a way, it's the mind itself that has to slightly let go instead of this closing bit. It's a softening, it's an expanding, it's a releasing. And then as we move and explore our little obstacles and challenges here, the question is, can you stay in that meditative state as you change weight to one leg, as you shift over here, as you step over there? So how we're going to do it today is we're going to just do a self-massage routine here just to get the whole body connected. And then we're going to stand up and spend the rest of the time standing, doing some qigong and some movement or some walking exercise. So hands come together. Rub the hands. Then you're going to take your left hand on the outside of your right and rub from fingertips to wrist. So that whole surface area. Then from wrist to elbow, the outer portion of the forearm. Then from elbow to shoulder, the outer portion. Shoulder, upper shoulder, and even onto your back, maybe even over just near the neck. And then smooth it all the way back to the fingertips. And we'll do that on the inside of that same arm. So go from fingertips to wrist, get the whole palm. Go from wrist to elbow on the inside. You can do this like you're raising your hand in class. Go from elbow to armpit on the inside, and then armpit down to the side waist. So that whole side of the body. And then smooth all the way to the fingertips. Let's do that to the other arm. Fingertips to wrist. Wrist to elbow. So notice we're on the outside quality of the body, the yang side, the side that sees more of the sun. Elbow to shoulder. Shoulder, upper shoulder, and back, and even where the neck meets the shoulder. And then smooth all the way to the fingertips. Then like you're raising your hand in class, go fingertips to wrist. Wrist to elbow. Keep raising the arm, elbow to armpit, armpit to side waist, and then smooth all the way out. Then go hands on the neck, from the base of the neck. So reach with one hand and just find that big bump vertebra that's at the bottom of the neck, and go from there up to the base of the skull. So you kind of sweep up. And then bring the other hand to the bottom of the neck and sweep up, and the other hand switches. So you just go up, 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 up. And then thumbs right in the base of the skull, right where your skull and your neck meet, and go in and out, right along that little base of skull. And then fingers just gently scalp. Then forehead, sweep open the forehead. Then from the bridge of the nose across the cheekbones, sweep that space open. And then let's go jaw, down to the chin, down the throat, and now we're on the collarbone. So now here, find lung point 1 and 2, this little space called the shoulder well. Soft little circles there. Soft. So you're not digging, you're just on the surface, lightly circling. That's the loose quality there, that shoulder well. Heart point, center chest, and switch. Shoulder well. Feel a loose quality there in that arm, soft, loose, light. And then heart point, under, and middle. Then up and down the middle. Right to liver and spleen. That's the front ribs and front upper stomach area, liver and spleen. Then inguinal region, groin, pubic area, kind of genital area there, into the groin area. So that's the quad, this whole space here. Come around to the tail, the sacrum, right? And you kind of go up and down, up onto your lumbar, the low back area that's known as Ming Men, or the door of life. And then thighs, inner, so from groin to knees, from hips to knees, hip flexors to knees, from outer hips to knees, the whole area, and then from the back. Then go in and out on the knee joint there, the back of the knee joint. So you kind of go in, out, right there. Then circles on the outer knees, on the outside of the knees, and then circles along the fronts of the knees. So notice I'm going around, and then on the inside knees, little circles. And then we got to hinge at the hips like we're bowing and get down to the shins. Now we dredge the channel. Thumb on the inside of the shin, middle finger squeeze the outside. Dredge, 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 dredge. Then the back of the leg, the calf muscles, just a nice open palm rub. Then can you get to your ankles and just find those little spaces around the ankles, the back, the outside, the front crease. Use your thumbs on the inside. And then let's come all the way back up. And we do our final little finish of the massage around the back. Sweep down the outside, around the foot to the inside, up the inside to the navel, and around. Up and down on the Ming Men, and then we go sweep and up. So we're finding our middle, and we're feeling, okay, this circle here, the middle meridian, and then the lower half, around and up. Lower half. And up. So this helps us feel where we're going to be moving from. This middle is where a lot of the interactions and pivoting happens or begins. And then finally, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Up the outer, down the inner. Up the outer, down the inner. Up the outside, down the inside, and done. Shogun. Settle everything to your middle. Find that ease, find that softness, feel that quality of space. Let your arms relax, slide your feet back a little bit, and stand up, sit down 4 times. Fold. Like you're just easing forward, push through the earth, rise nice and tall. Fold in half, hips, sink. Again, fold, push, rise. Fold, sink, land with ease. At no point you need to start grabbing on with a bunch of tension, or at least that's the long-term goal, that this whole movement happens like you're sliding. So slide through the space, slide through the space. 4 times squat, but remember we're working on our Taoist Tai Chi squat, so it's not this force and activity, it's soft, it's open along the back. And we just sink and push through the earth, rise. So feel this, what they call the courtyard, this space that when you empty out and you let the butt go back a little, there's this space that you just sink right through and come back up through. And there's no point that you need to just start grabbing and holding and gripping. So there's a roundness, a loose quality. Last one. Nice and easy. All right, now we're standing. Let's tip to the toes. We stay in the toes for a little bit. And remember, because of how the body is built, there's more foot in front of the ankle. So that's why when we tip forward from our middle, we actually look like we're leaning. But when we tip to the heels from our middle, we end up looking kind of like we're making a C curve rather than we're tipping back that way. That's a little dangerous. This, we tip back and you can feel your toes come off the ground there. And there's like a little C curve happening in the body. And then we tip forward from our middle and there's like a little lean there. And then we tip back. And at no point are we losing that easy still point in the middle. Forward, and back. Forward. On this next one, as you go forward, stay in the toes. Stay forward, and then go more to your left ball of foot and toes, to the point where your right foot actually feels a little empty. And then you come across and go to your right ball of foot, where your left foot, you feel it change. You feel there's a change there where full, empty-ish. And then you come across, you feel the point where they're kind of double weighted for a moment, but then now this is yang, this is yin. And it's all from this middle, just staying quiet, staying relaxed. If we tense up and come up here, then we become top heavy. We don't feel as connected to our root. Back across. Come back to middle and go back towards the heels. Now be in your heels and go a little more to the right heel. This one now empty-ish. Middle, left heel. Cross. So it's this middle being soft, the body being open and loose, that allows us to feel at ease and centered and rooted. Now, stay in the right foot, come from the right heel up to the right toes, back to the right heel, and up to the right toes. Again, all from this middle. This leg is empty, and we're just kind of rocking forward and back on just this leg. The next time you're in the right toe, stay in the toes, come across. Stay in the left foot, go back to the heel, forward to the ball. A couple of times. Back, forward, loose. Always keep checking yourself. Are you clenching your jaw? Are you grabbing your hands? Are you clenching the shoulder well, chest area? Or can that be loose? We have our middle. Now, the next time you're back in this left heel, we're going to go across the heels to the right, come up along that right foot and go across the toes. Back to the heels, and we come across the heels. So we're making a bit of a circle. But this circle, like a compass, kind of has this center, even though our center is moving with us. But that center is almost a still point within. So it's not changing, even though you're changing a lot about where you are. Let's reverse that circle. Round. And this is such a good practice because it shows you that, oh, I can move and there's not a lot of tension. All you're doing is just kind of directing with your intent. You're just directing your chi, you might say, to control this hydraulic liquid-based system. Find now the middle of the middle of the middle, neither in your toes nor in your heels. You're kind of floating right in this in-between space. Now make your way over to this chair and fingertips touch, outside leg loose. Now, you may need to move that other chair back a little bit, depending on how close it is, but we've got our support, and you want to just swing. So you want this outside leg loose, and you want to make sure you're not only swinging it forward, but the mistake a lot of people make is they do this, but swing it forward and then they stop it here and they never get the thigh behind. So forward, back. And what that does, notice there's a little in your standing leg, there's a calibration it has to do to balance when the leg is behind you versus in front of you. And we're swinging. Then the leg behind you, bend the knee, bring the heel to the butt, and then extend the foot forward and sweep it back. So it's kind of like if you were skateboarding, right? I always think of that. I'm not really a skateboarder, but that's that movement that they make, right? This kind of wheel-like movement. And make sure, again, you're letting the thigh get behind you, heel, and then sweep. Now reverse, leg in front, tuck, reach back, sweep. 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 And switch sides. So take a little side step, hand here, swing. And the skateboard sweep. So back, bend, bring the foot forward, put it out, sweep. Sweep. And try not to tip your body over. So keep everything here stable, leg loose and free. Reverse. And stand. Now, from standing, put your weight back in your right leg, out, in, out. The goal here is hips, torso don't go anywhere. The weight is through this leg empty goes out. Even if all you can do is go out to here and back to here, that's better than clump, clump. Okay, so get that separation, this little feeling of space in this quad, in this hip. Then a little circle, so this empty leg goes forward, sweeps around and gets behind, slides forward. So it's empty and it's just gliding above the ground and you're making little leg bone circles in that hip socket. Reverse, come back around to the front. I'll turn sideways, back, around to the front. Last one, switch legs. Shift, sliding out and in. Feel that space in the quad. It's a space that doesn't get generated or cultivated if we, right? Yes, I'm stepping my foot over there, but I'm bringing this whole glued together situation with it versus, oh, there's a space in there, real estate inside here that you gotta have. Then make those circles forward, around to behind. Slide forward, around to behind. Forward, around. Forward, around. Forward, and reverse. Back, around. Back, around. Back, around. Back. And middle. And back to this side, this leg empty, out, neutral, in. Neutral, what you want to feel on this one is keep this leg empty. As you turn it out, it stays empty, and the hips kind of turn with it a little bit. And middle, and same thing here, as you do this internal rotation, the pelvis kind of turns a little bit, so there's that closing in both hips. And then middle. out, and the hips kind of turn, open. Middle, internal. Middle, external. Now skip the middle, internal, external. Internal, staying empty the whole time. External. This is our full leg. Everything else is loose and free. And switching sides. Turn out, neutral, in. Neutral, out. Keep going. Gotta let someone in here. Skipping middle now. So again, if you have the relationship with this tree trunk leg correct, everything, the pelvis, this leg, these arms are empty. They're loose. They're free. They're light. Right? And that's not how many people experience their bodies. Right? And so it's just really important for us to feel like, oh, okay, it's about this relationship here, that full leg. Now, step to the side. Chair. Now, put the weight in this outside leg, left leg should be for you. Inside leg, the one closer to the chair, out in front with the heel softly touching the ground. Now we just shift into that front leg, get to the tippy toes of this back leg. Shift into the back leg, tippy heel of this leg here. Shift. So feel this changing of which one's your yang or full or tree trunk and which one's loose. And then get really good at changing that and saying, okay, now I'm relying on this one. This one back here is loose. Everything up here, loose. Shift. Loose. Shift. Loose. Shift. So now recall your meditation position of vertical. Recall this idea of still. So even though this area of your body, your middle, is moving through space forward and back, internally there's nothing happening, or at least that's what you want to feel over time, is this soft, relaxed floating on the inside. Let's go level 2. So here you might need your hand on your chair. Lift, lower, shift. Now this back foot empty, heel to butt lift, toe down, shift back. Lift, lower, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Lift, lower, shift. And those of you feeling pretty balanced, you just play around with, okay, my chair's there, my fingers are ready to use it, but maybe I'm not using it, or maybe I'm only just touching it the whole time. I'm not leaning into it, right? So that's the direction you have to challenge yourself as you continue to practice these things to feel better and better without support. Now, level 3, let's stay here with the hand touching the chair and lift. Set the heel down, do that twice more, just this lift. Lift, loose and relax, down, touch the heel. Lift, down. Now we change, make the right leg the full leg, this back leg now, not only pull heel to butt, but also lift that knee forward and up. And then reach the toe back. Up. This one, very important that when you reach the toe back, you don't go with it. You stay empty. You're staying in this leg here. Up. And back. Now, shift back. One of each time. So lift, lower, empty, shift. This back leg, lift, reach back, toe touches softly, shift back. Yeah. And as I've described this before, the rocking chair, just rocking chair, easy. And then it's empty leg is free to do a whole lot. Step up curbs, step over obstacles, whatever it may be. As long as you get this relationship with the earth correct, this is free. But often we pay too much attention to the lifting leg, and so we don't get this relationship correct. And then changing that relationship is really the trick. All right, switch sides. So we do a little side step waltz over to the other chair, and using it. Let's do the rocking chair. So shift your weight into your right leg, left foot out in front, shift, shift back. This is level one, just rocking chair. A great time to practice hand on nothing. Great time to practice that if that's appropriate for you, because you're never leaving the ground. Usually with this one, especially in the beginning, people aren't quite getting 100% zero and then 100% zero. They're doing maybe 80-20, 80-20, but you're practicing what it's like to not have a crutch or a walker or something for the hand. Last one. Rocking chair. Then we go level two, which is empty, lift, lower, shift. And back foot empty, heel to butt, toe touch, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Heel to butt, toe touch, shift back. Continue. Empty hip. Empty foot. Remember, with this level two, we're not bringing this foot forward. All we're doing is just going heel to butt. Just getting that movement down. Last one of level two. Now, level three, hand on the chair, get this lift, right? So I'll turn sideways, you can see, try to get this knee up above the hip, right? And then touch the heel down. Do it again. Up, down, up, down, and shift forward. Now the back leg, same thing, the heel comes to the butt, but now we do bring that knee forward and up. And we stay where we are as we reach the toe back. So that's an added challenge of finding your equilibrium when this leg is now in front of us. The weight of it is in front, and then the weight goes back behind. You can feel through your center the sort of calibration that's required. Now, flowing, shift back, wait for it to be empty. Floats up like it's a marionette string. Down, shift. Back leg, marionette string, up, back, shift. Get the relationship of the full leg correct. This becomes easy over time. Shift. Get this relationship correct. Lift, back, shift back. Two more. Keep that central line, keep that still place. One more. Relaxation, space, ease, and switch sides. Side step. We're over here. Inside leg, slightly out in front. Rocking chair version of the next exercise. Shift. Back foot. Once it's empty, it's ready to do like a little swing through. Swing. Heel touches. Shift. Let me tilt my screen down here. Okay. So we were forward, right? We're here. Then we shift back, wait for it to be empty, swing it back, the toe touch, and rocking chair back. So let's all get to here again where that should be your right leg is on the heel, empty, rocking chair. Once the other leg is empty, swings through empty, land the heel, rocking chair. And then rocking chair back. When the left leg is empty, swing it back, touch the toe, rocking chair back. So that rocking chair is effortless. The swing is almost effortless because this is empty. And then the rocking chair is effortless. So we just took a step without work. We used liquid. We used ease. We used softening through movement. Soft. 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 Let's go level 2. There's a little obstacle out there. So we go lift, lower, just a challenge. Shift. Now this back foot is empty. There's something in the way. You got to go up, over the top of it. Put the heel down. Rocking chair. Heel to butt, toe down. We rocking chair back, and then there's something right behind your heel here. So the leg has to come up in front, bend the knee, reach the toe back, touch it softly to the floor, and we shift back, rocking chair. Disconnect, reconnect, shift. This back foot, heel to butt, up, over a little obstacle, heel touch, shift. Lift, lower, shift back. A little obstacle, up, tuck, reach and touch the toe, shift back. Lift, lower. So we're changing into this right leg. This free foot can step. Changing into this left leg. This foot can lift lower. Changing back into the right leg. This foot is free to go over the obstacle. Changing into the left leg. Lift lower. One more, level 2. Now, level 3, we'll only do a couple of these, but this is where you may need your hand on something. Knee up, heel down, rocking chair. Then maximum, whatever that is for you, heel to butt, knee to chest, foot forward, hover it down. Rocking chair, and heel to butt and knee up. Then reach the toe back, shift back. Knee comes up, reach back, toe touch, shift. So all we're doing is just challenging this center to remain still, to remain at ease as we maximum, we just sort of buy real estate, explore our range. So rare occasion you would actually need to take a step like this, but it could happen in life, something's in the way or whatever, but really mainly it's for the brain to feel its maximum topography, the wholeness of your map, so that we don't feel truncated and narrowed and sort of stuck. While the middle is just remaining at ease the whole time. Hold it. And feet together, switch sides. Level 1, inside leg empty, heel. So it should be your left leg. And then just shift, swing an empty foot, shift. Rocking chair soft and easy back. Swing the foot back, it's still empty. Rocking chair back. So we're changing into that left leg with softness, stepping an empty right foot, and then changing into that right foot with softness. Back foot. Change, step, change. Change, step, change. Middle the whole time. Soft, at ease. Relax. Level 2, lift, lower, shift. Small obstacle, up and over. Shift. Back foot, disconnect, reconnect, shift. Small obstacle, up, tuck, reach back, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Little obstacle, shift. up, down, shift. Small obstacle, shift. One more level 2, up, down. Change which one is your full. Change which one is your full. Change. And that change can over time become almost instantaneous the more open and relaxed you are. Level 3, up, down. So you're just maximum here, whatever that is for you. That's heel to butt, knee up, foot floats and hovers. Shift. Knee up, toe back. Shift back. Maximum, challenge, whatever that is. Hand on chair as needed. And marionette lift. Lower. Shift. Bicycle. Shift. Up. Back. Shift. Reverse. Shift. Last one. Down. Shift. Shift. And back. Now, stand in the middle, shogun, arms come up over a little circle, and then settle. The mind settles to this middle, the hands help represent that. So we're not up in our head, we're not holding tension up here, we're settling down to this place of ease and release. Feeling a stability, that's an internal stability, rather than something created by a bunch of rigidity and holding, rather by a return to middle. Now, side steps, hands come down. We're going to move towards the right side of space. I'm going to move in front of my chairs. You can be behind your chairs. Your chairs, you want them there in case you need them. Move to the right side of the runway. Now, empty left leg, step it out, in, out, in, out, in. Notice my body is not going with my leg. Now, out, lead the foot out, shift so that this becomes full, this becomes empty, and then change back. This full, this empty. The feet do not come off the ground for this one. And that's kind of important because we need to buy the real estate from the correct place, right? And also you want to resist the desire to lean the body to get over there and lean the body to get over there, because that gets the real estate from the wrong place. It's got to come from this, you getting over there, and then you getting over there. Changing. Now, stay in the left leg and come in with the right, out with the right. In, out. But now we stay over here. Now, bring that right foot in. Very important. Feet as close together as you can. Change. So now this is empty. And then change. So this emphasizes the downishness, the down quality of changing rather than the side to side quality. Change. And it's about opening the spaces, letting your weight go through the earth, letting your weight go through the earth, letting it go through the earth. Now, left foot stays empty, step it empty. Change over so the left becomes full, right empty, then bring the foot in. Change. Left steps and stays empty. Change. Right steps in and hovers a bit. Change. Out. Change. In. Change. Hover. Change. Hover. Now switch directions. Back out. Change. In. Change. Out. you execute the movement by releasing through. And then releasing through. Everything here loose. This area still soft. Balance. Once more there, back. Balancing the teacup on the top of your head, not by tightening up, but by settling more. So that the stability you're looking for comes from everything dropping and softening and releasing rather than from a holding, gripping tight. It's two different roads to try to get to a destination, and one of them you can sustain much, much, much longer, and that's the softening. So back the other way. Change and step. Change, step. Change, step. And shogun, or closing gesture, hands come up and over, settle to your middle. And then make your way to the between your chairs place again. So your chairs are on either side of you, they're available as needed. Empty your right leg. Remember our turning out and our turning in. Now we're using those. Right leg turns out, stays empty. The weight change and the turn of the waist, and hover the left foot right alongside the right foot, and then change your weight to your left, empty the right foot again, and turn it out. And then all in one smooth gesture, not fast, but smooth. Shift and turn and bring the left foot to match. Empty the right foot and turn it out. Changing the weight, turning the body, bring the foot. Same idea, balance the teacup using that settled quality. Just be so settled through to the earth. Let's go around again. Right foot turns out, and then you're bringing the whole body to match it, back to neutral. Right foot turns out, stays empty when it does, and then the whole body. So there's just two main events. It's the foot turns out and stays empty, that's one event. Everything coming together, second event. Changing and turning the foot out. And neutral. Let's go to the left. So left foot empties. Changing and bringing it around. Change, left foot empties, turns out. And again, just be careful not to do the turn the foot out and put the weight in it, right? That's what I'm seeing a few of you do. You're turning out and going into that left foot. So the whole point is getting this separation. And then change. Get that separation. Okay. Take that extra moment to put the weight through the right leg and turn the left foot out, keeping it empty. And then change. Once you get around to the front, stay facing the front. So if you've done 2 rounds, just stay facing the front. We're going to do next bit. Okay, now right leg, instead of turning out, turns in. And remember what I said, there's that little pinch where now the belly button's pointing slightly to the corner. And then I shift into the right leg and finish that and bring the left foot to match the right foot. So then again, it's that pigeon toe. And then a shift and a reorient. So there's that turning in of the leg, and the hips change and the torso turns a little bit, and then a shift and a reorient. How's your teacup doing? Check it. Go around twice this way. Pigeon toe, change. Can you feel stillness and relaxation in your middle, down in that belly? Notice if you're stooping, if you're falling forward, can you just make a slight adjustment to feel a little more vertical? So you fit inside of gravity rather than fight gravity. Now, after you finish twice that way, then it's left foot, pigeon toe, reorient. Pigeon toe, reorient. Around twice. If you can just focus on the foot that you step and turn stays empty. Then you change the weight. That little discernment point stays completely empty, changing weight. Stays completely empty, change weight. Now we put that all together. Empty right foot turn. As you shift, you not only bring yourself to match, but you keep turning and pigeon toe. Then you shift and not only turn to square, but turn that foot out again. And then shift and turn and totally pigeon toe so that it's possible in 4 footsteps, you're back to facing the first direction back towards the camera. Right foot turns out. There's a shift and a turn and a keep that left foot empty so that it can step to a pigeon toe without any weight in it. Then you change the weight through it and turn the right leg. And then you shift and turn and pigeon toe. And then you let's go around the 3rd time. So 3 times with this one because we're getting around. And again, just think of there's a place in the room that you're going to have to go to. And it's behind you essentially, right? So you're getting yourself oriented. You're saying, oh, I gotta go over there. So you're making this maneuver to aim your torso that way before heading that way. Now we're gonna switch other direction. So it's left foot out. Turn. Reorient. And what I have heard and what they have said, one of the #1 falls that happen for people as they age, and especially with Parkinson's issues, is when it comes time to turn in space. And it's because the feet stay locked and people turn with their upper body to try to go over there, and these stay where they are, and you can imagine they're plump, right? So if you can just get this idea that, oh, before I go, I'm going to orient myself. I'm going to and aim. And that's just good mechanics. That's not like, hey, when you're in trouble, you got to do that. It's like martial artists do that. This is the most efficient way and the safest way to change where you are in space. If you were a swordsman, this is what you would be working on. Turning, changing. There's attacks coming from all sides. So, you know what I mean? It works for everybody. Turn, 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 and we're back to middle. Shogun, or closing gesture, hands up and over. Settle to your middle. And this one we've done only, I think, twice, this next exercise. So it's the ballistic movement. It's the movement that gets a little gunpowder back in our legs, right? Because all this is effort-free, right? We're working on effortless. But there's also this advancing and retreating quality in our movement we want to have. So just watch me do it a couple times, and we've created an angle that you can see. So this empty foot, rather than just shifting, again, it's important that this back leg not be locked. If I have a locked knee back here, I have no ballistic explosion. I have no spring. So if I've sunk through and this back leg's a little soft, just a little bit soft, then I can advance. And notice what I did with this back leg. I sort of dragged it or brought it up. Then, this being empty, this being spring-loaded, back. Be careful, because now you're putting a little momentum into it. So it can be small, forward, back. So the foot that you explode from stays empty. Advance forward. It stays empty. and then retreat back. So let's do it together. So put the weight through your left leg, right foot empty and loose, and advance. And then retreat. So you feel there's this push, there's a little ballistic, you could say explosion. Explosion. So I'm doing it at an angle, but I hope you guys are doing it forward, backward. And if you notice the feet, I'm going into my heel, and then this I'm going into my toe and kind of transferring the weight into the earth. Forward, backward, forward, backward. Now, it doesn't mean we have to leave our root. We can stay rooted and still have a little bit of that. Let's go ahead and switch legs. So the weight goes through the right leg, left foot empty. Advance. Retreat. Advance. Retreat. This is like boxing footwork. Maybe you guys have done this in boxing, right? Advance. Retreat. Advance. Retreat. Feel that load, explode. Load, explode. So it gets a little gunpowder. Bang. 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 And sideways. Explode. Load, explode. Load, explode. And shogo. Groin, inguinal, round to the hips, sacrum, lumbar, and then like you're doing a squat, sweep around from up the in-seam to the middle, and then up the outer, down the inner, up the outer, down the inner, outer, inner, other arm, 2, and 3. Final shogun close. And seal. 1, 2. Taoist bow. Thank you, everybody. Have a safe seat. Unmute if you have a question.